I'm stepping into sunshine. I'm walking through that gate. I forgive what came before. I choose peace now and more. I'm feeling good, I'm feeling free to feeling free. I'm walking tall in the greater me, greater me. Got my rhythm, got my life. I'm stepping out into my life. No more waiting, no more fear. I'm the woman, I'm right here. That little girl I used to be, she's still with me, but now she smiles, now she's free. I ain't stuck in yesterday, I'm moving with the light. I'm the woman I was born to be, riding truth into the night. I forgive, I rise, I shine. I'm not broken, I'm divine. I got joy in my step, got love in my hands. I'm building my life on my own sacred land. I speak with grace, I move with fire. I'm living the life that lifts me higher. I'm feeling bold, I'm feeling free. I'm walking proud in the greater me. Got my rhythm, got my life. I'm stepping out into my life. No more waiting, no more fear. I'm the woman, I'm right here. I'm the woman, I'm right here. I'm the woman, I'm right here.
Welcome everybody to the War Room. Glad to have everybody here. It is October 27th, 2025. Time sure is flying.
Yes, it is.
Sorry for the tarded start. I had an issue with the microphone. We got that fixed. It was just a setting on StreamYard that I think that's changed or something. But we made it a little tardy, but we're here. We got that taken care of. There's a lot going on in the world, right? And a lot of anxiety and emotions and energies are at an all-time high right now, especially with the uncertainties coming in, walking into November, which kind of brings up that song November Rain, like Guns N' Roses, right? So it's like kind of like that, right? But what do they say at the government? If it doesn't open back up, 42 million people could be without SNAP benefits. So that's a big hit. Um, so that's
Looks like some humanitarian things would have to come to play, won't it?
yeah, because you got to feed the people, or it's a war. It's like it'd be considered a war crime if you don't. If you can cause a situation where food is
Start and people
right.
genocide and which that's kind of been done, but yeah.
So maybe that'll urge more people locally to step up. I don't know. We'll see. Right.
Absolutely.
Or maybe even the people themselves, right? Come out of her, my people. Some people have to be kind of forced out, but you know, I still don't think it's right to just do people like this. Less than 42 million people.
But it's like everyone stock up for a year. Well,
So,
some people have, but no, I think it's going to be all good. It's a good thing.
It could be a chance to get people together, helping neighbors and stuff. Maybe that's, I mean, who knows, but,
yeah,
that
force
could,
the. It's almost like pulling a tit out of a big dog's mouth when they already got teeth.
Do you have supposed to turn your mic on?
On my mouth. Follow
Speak up a little bit.
Yeah, so but I'm just glad that we were able to take these cuts for the federal government so that they can save a few $1 billion. It
Well,
just
that's the cover story.
right.
They don't have
So I told you
that.
that. So whenever they go to save money or save things, they always cut from the people first. Right? It's the food or any other programs they may have. That's what they cut first before they cut anything else. As you can see, I'm not saying anything else isn't getting cut, but it's just saying like. Uh, so according to the video we played earlier, where Trump said that these Democrat programs aren't coming back. Some of the ones they don't like, right? So
Yeah, that's it.
let me play that real quick. Let me get that set up. Um, Mickey, how was your day?
I had a great day. Thank you. How was yours?
That was pretty good.
It's cool.
Thank you for coming on tonight with us.
It's thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for inviting me.
How was your day, Nadine?
Our same as usual. I'm not
Oh,
sure what. We went for walks.
That's good.
And sometimes he takes me for like little jogs around the land here. Did you guys go do anything fun?
Did you do any of what?
Did you do anything fun? Did
Us?
you,
I do fun stuff every day.
Yeah. Yeah, we found some reishi mushrooms growing
Oh
in our
yeah,
yard, which is,
I found
I
some
don't know how they
mushrooms.
got there, but they were big ones too. They just came out of nowhere.
Second rare. Um, Give me 1 second. Let's go ahead and let's go into we had uh Judy's mom had she passed. Where y'all want to talk about that? So I can play this song so that I can set up because I gotta reset some stuff. Somebody had fun in the rain. Yeah, November rain's coming up.
it was Glendia.
Yeah, Glendia, beautiful song. Um,
The chat goes by so fast. It's a spaz, and my fingers a spaz. So it's like if I don't get rid of something quick, I end up showing like three different things, and the pug dance just does not perform well on screen.
Glendia wrote this about the symbol of the soul's flight, white feather. The symbol of soul flight represents the mother spirit ascending gently, carried by the divine breath. Message from the spirit. In many traditions, a white feather is a sign from the departed, a whisper of presence, saying, I'm still with you. Purity and peace. The feather's witness transmits serenity, clarity, and unconditional love. Lake and blue-eyed mother. Lake as portal. The lake symbolizes the threshold between worlds. It's where the emperor of fish receives the news, making it a a sacred site of soul transmission. Blue eyes in the water, her face emerging from the lake, honors her beauty and grace. The blue hues reflect her eyes and the emotional depth of her remembrance. Water as emotion. The ripples echo grief, healing, and the flow of love that continues beyond death. The red cardinal on the cedar bench, messenger of ancestors. The cardinal is often seen as a visitor from the spiritual realm, especially when someone is grieving. Clan symbol as part of the Red Cardinal Clan, the bird represents tribal lineage, protection, and continuity. Cedar as sacred tree. Cedar is used in purification rituals. Its presence signals spiritual cleansing and ancestral connection. Inscribed phrases: Feather of light, carry her soul, a prayer for safe passage, invoking divine guidance. Feather of love, make him whole. A healing invocation for the emperor of fish, calling love to mend the grief.
So these frequencies are embedded in the visual rhythm and can be mirrored in the song's production. Um, so if people are wondering what we're talking about, where to go? Hold on.
Okay. These lines are both lyrical and literal, meant to be sung, spoken, and meditated upon. Healing frequencies, subtle waves in the background. Though not visible, the scroll design implies vibrational layers. 528 hertz for soul healing and love. 432 hertz for emotional grounding. 639 hertz for heart connection. These frequencies are embedded in the visual rhythm and can be mirrored in the song's production. Truth Train 88 Red Cardinal Clan Tribal Identity. These names anchor the scroll in lineage and collective strength. 88 as infinity, the number echoes eternal remembrance, soul continuity, and divine timing. This scroll is more than a tribute, it's a portal, a healing tool, and a visual chant.
Today, we release a song born of love, loss, and remembrance. It carries the breath of a mother whose eyes held the sky, and the silence of a lake that received the news with grace. To the Emperor of Fish, we stand with you, heart to heart, wave to wave. Your grief is sacred. Your love is eternal. She walks with you still in every ripple, every sunrise, every feather that falls. This song is not just sound. It is soul. It is the Truth Train 88 tribe singing with you, the Red Cardinal Clan watching from the cedar, and the healing frequencies rising like mist. May her spirit be honored. May your heart be held. May this song carry her name into the wind. And may every listener feel the love that never dies. She walks with you. She walks with us. She walks with us. She walks with us. And now her song begins. And now her song begins. He was on the lake when the wind stood still. The sky held its breath. The water fell ill. A message came, quiet and deep. His mother was cross and her soul went to sleep. She had eyes like the morning tide, blue as true, soft as pride. Now the lake reflects her gaze, and the clouds remember her ways. A white feather fell, slow and kind, a sign from her. Red Cardinal watches from the tree as we honor her. her soul eternally. No words can match the love she gave. No song can fill the silent grave. But we sing for her with open sky. She lives in us, she never dies. She lives in us, she never dies.
So we want to honor Cheating's mom tonight and her transition into the spirit realm. And we want to thank her for the amazing children that she created and raised throughout the years. So we celebrate her life tonight.
Thank you, Glendia. It was
That's a heck of a journey, ain't it? All right, the things that us as humans have to go through, like sadness and happiness and the duality of that, you know, the up and down and that's just the process, right? That's what makes us human. If we didn't have emotions like this, then we wouldn't be human, right? You're just empty vessels. We're here for you, Cheating. I know you know that. So thank you, and we honor you as well. So thank you for sharing your time with us in your life, your energy. It's greatly appreciated.
Thank you, Cheating.
So we've all lost somebody this year, right? Really close to us, and I'm just grateful that we're all here to be there for each other throughout the process. So that's a blessing in itself to have a community like that, to know that you're not alone and other people care. So and that's we have many more. But we're going to get through it. We know death is an illusion. Right? It's the body that falls. It's the body's the limitation. That's what limits us. That's what keeps us from flying. It's the only thing. We're made of energy. Energy doesn't die.
Chief, did you guys ever figure out what that shadow was behind y'all last night?
we look
Yeah,
at it. Well,
I thought it was degrees from my perm, but maybe not.
it was yeah. That's never been there. That was wild. I think. Look at that.
Should not like
But
Looked like a whole body.
yeah, it just looked like a head and the shoulders. Right.
head and shoulders.
That's a good one, actually.
And it looked like he had like glasses on, didn't it? Like why? So crazy looking.
All right.
Yeah, I'm glad someone caught that. Because I could never know.
Maybe he had it on too.
All right. So tonight we're going to take care of a couple things in house here within the community, within our tribe. And the first thing out of the gate, I want to remind everybody to please share out this article with Dayna and Preston. Um, the battle's still ongoing. cherished verses. Wait, let me open it. There we go. No more medically kidnapped autistic teen speaks out as health plummets under OKDHS treatment, forced treatment. We shared this out. We covered this in the chat. I've had this uploaded to Rumble as well. We also have people sharing this out on multiple different platforms. Again, Dayna Mooney was taking care of her son. He was healthy, happy, and smiling, boiling. He was bowling, mowing the yard at the time that these people came up to kidnap them. That's what happened. Then they took him to the hospital and forced treatment upon him that neither he or his parents approved of or wanted because they were going the holistic route, right? So I want to remind people about this. If you could please take the time to repost this on your Facebook, X, something, maybe some community, maybe you know somebody. And this is in Oklahoma. If this can happen to her child, it could happen to any of our kids, right? Right here, he was healthy, bowling, smiling, but the state said otherwise. And then now he can hardly walk, and he's in pain, constant pain.
Oh, in the lawn.
So we shared this. This is where he's at now. He went from smiling, bawling, mowing the yard to barely able to walk. This is what this tyrannical system has now done to his health. So this was from the 16th, just a few, like 10, maybe 2 weeks ago, right? So here we are right now. Oops, almost. Here he is now, barely able to move his leg, right? So this is really, really, really big. This is personal. If Mike was here, he'd be pissed.
Yeah.
He would be pissed. This is October 16th, 2025. We shared this. All right. Let's get this shared back out. This is OKDHS holds Moms for Liberty family hostage despite court ruling, right? So when they kidnapped him, it was on a Friday, I believe it was. So they had to wait till Monday to get a word from him. But in the process, they went along with the treatment. So really big, really, really, really big story right here that's not getting the traction that it deserves. Maybe I have a bias because we have a relationship with Dayna, so I don't. Also, want to share out the government shutdowns and executive branch operations, the FAQs. I'm going to put that out in the link so you can go through this. What the shutdown allowed was for the executive branch to be able to send in National Guard to different states, even if the governor says no. So that's what that was about. They say it's a Schumer shutdown, that Schumer this, Schumer that. But anyways, just wanted to let that be known. And that's what the government shutdown allows the executive branch to do. And that's why you see the National Guard in the 50 states, like Hicks said in the interview sitting next to Trump at the White House. So, yeah. So when people say, well, that's the loophole, right?
Yes.
This is the loophole. We'll go,
Always a loophole.
right. But
They
today,
find them.
Today, I wanted to connect a couple things. You're probably wondering, well, what the hell is biblical trees and their remains got to do with anything, right? But this video here breaks it down really good, and it has a few Back to the Future clips in here, a few movies where they've shown you the truth in your face, even about, you know, time travel, et cetera, is even included in this. So let's share this real quick, and then we'll pause and comment on it. This is from Flat Out Truth from Terry R. Iker on YouTube. Subscribe. I'll subscribe right here. Sharing the content. So let's take a little bit. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I'm going to read something here real quick, and it talks about the root system of this tree. I don't want to just fly by it, but let me mute this music right here so it doesn't echo. But this is from July 31st, 2017. New discovery will change history, right? A huge and startling discovery has been made at the Devil's Tower in Wyoming. Scientists from the Wyoming State Parks Department were conducting photographic seismic readings below the tower when they discovered an incredibly large um, petrified root system below the tower. The Parks Department released a statement saying, "We have discovered what looks like a giant root system stemming from the base of the Devil's Tower. The root system has been measured at 4 miles deep by 7 miles wide. So we are currently conducting studies and tests to confirm that this is actually a root system and not a coincidence. This discovery is on the edge of rewriting history and science as we know it. We will continue to update you with any new information. At this time, information is very limited, right? So this is from infinitynews.com. You can mute my mic.
These rocks are reminiscent of fallen trees. In fact, they are ancient formations of stone. But how could wood possibly be turned into stone? Long ago, this landscape was covered by a dense forest. Mighty rivers cut across the terrain. Water caused by heavy flooding in the deep quagmire of the swamp, and having, in effect, been hermetically sealed, the trees were subsequently covered by layers of sediment. Thus, their further decomposition was halted, and the petrification process began. Mud, sand, and volcanic ash settled above the trees that gradually absorbed minerals from the surrounding moisture. Thus, hundreds of fossil trunks developed. The large percentage of silicon in the groundwater delayed the natural decaying process, and at the same time created the amazing transformation of the trees. Today, the petrified forests, formerly tall conifers, are the most common examples of this stone world of plants that dates back to prehistory. Illuminated by the sunlight, the petrified tree trunks have always been the subject of fantasy and imagination.
I saw, and behold, a tree in the midst of the earth, and the height thereof was great. The tree grew and was strong, and the height thereof reached unto heaven, and the sight thereof to the end of all the earth. The leaves thereof were fair, and the fruit thereof much, and in it was meat for all. The beasts of the field had shadow under it, and the fowls of the heaven dwelt in the boughs thereof, and all flesh was fed of it. I saw in the visions of my head upon my bed, and behold, a watcher and an holy one came down from heaven. He cried aloud and said thus, Hew down the tree and cut off his branches, shake off his leaves and scatter his fruit. Let the beasts get away from under it, and the fowls from his branches. Nevertheless, leave the stump of his roots in the earth, even with a band of iron and brass in the tender grass of the field. And let it be wet with the dew of heaven, and let his portion be with the beasts in the grass of the earth. The tree that thou sawest, which grew and was strong, whose height reached unto the heaven, and the sight thereof to all the earth, whose leaves were fair, and the fruit thereof much, and in it was meat for all, under which the beasts of the field dwelt, and upon whose branches the fowls of the heaven had their habitation. It is thou, O King, that art grown and become strong. For thy greatness is grown and reacheth unto heaven, and thy dominion to the end of the earth. And whereas the king saw a watcher and an holy one coming down from heaven, and saying, Hew the tree down and destroy it, yet leave the stump of the roots thereof in the earth, even with a band of iron and brass in the tender grass of the field, and let it be wet with the dew of heaven, and let his portion be with the beasts of the field, till 7 times pass over him. This is the interpretation, O King, and this is the decree of the Most High, which is come upon my lord the king, that they shall drive thee from men, and thy dwelling shall be with the beasts of the field, and they shall make thee to eat grass as oxen, and they shall wet thee with the dew of heaven, and 7 times shall pass over thee, till thou know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will. And whereas they commanded to leave the stump of the tree roots, thy kingdom shall be sure unto thee, after that thou shalt have known that the heavens do rule.
In those days, the word of God come to me and said, Noah, behold, thy lot has ascended up to me, a lot void of crime, a lot beloved and upright. Now then shall the angels labor at the trees, but when they proceed to this, I will put my hand upon it and preserve it.
And behold, a tree in the midst of the earth, and the height thereof was great. The tree grew and was strong, and the height thereof reached unto heaven, and the sight thereof to the end of all the earth. The leaves thereof were fair, and the fruit thereof much, and in it was meat for all. The beasts of the field had shadow in it, and the fowls of the heaven dwelt in the boughs thereof, and all flesh was fattened. I saw in the visions of my head upon my bed, and behold, a watcher and an holy one came down from heaven. He cried aloud and said thus, Hew down the tree and cut off his branches, shake off his leaves and scatter his fruit. Let the beasts get away from under it, and the fowls from his branches. Nevertheless, leave the stump of his roots in the earth, even with a band of iron and brass in the tender grass of the field. And let it be wet with the dew of heaven, and let his portion be with the beasts in the grass of the earth. Let his heart be changed from man's, and let a beast's heart be given unto him, and let 7 times pass over him. This matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, in the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basest of men.
You know, Doc, it's gonna be a hell of a long walk back to Hill Valley from here.
Still the safest plan. After all, we can't risk sending you back into a populated area or to a spot that's geographically unknown. You don't want to crash into some tree that once existed in the past. You don't want to crash into some tree that once existed in the past.
All right, just wanna let's see. Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I just wanted to show this real quick. Right here, you see the nuclear thing on his right here, 88 miles an hour. This is nuclear thing on either side of his shirt. See it a little bit better there. Let me remove that. Looks like the Star of David in the center.
Looks like an atom to me.
That's what he said when he said that.
Right? Yeah, I didn't.
You know, Doc, it's gonna be a hell of a long walk back to Hill Valley from here.
Still the safest plan. After all, we can't risk sending you back into a populated area or to a spot that's geographically unknown. You don't want to crash into some tree that once existed in the past. You don't want to crash into some tree that once existed in the past.
Oh my. Still see the root system. Wow, that's
I saw, and behold, a tree in the midst of the earth, and the height thereof was great. The tree grew and was strong, and the height thereof reached unto heaven, and the sight thereof to the end of all the earth. The leaves thereof were fair, and the fruit thereof much, and in it was meat for all. The beasts of the field had shadow under it, and the fowls of the heaven dwelt in the boughs thereof, and all flesh was fed of it. I saw in the visions of my head upon my bed, and behold, a watcher and an holy one came down from heaven. He cried aloud and said thus, Hew down the tree and cut off his branches, shake off his leaves and scatter his fruit. Let the beasts get away from under it, and the fowls from his branches. Nevertheless, leave the stump of his roots in the earth, even with a band of iron and brass in the tender grass of the field. And let it be wet with the dew of heaven, and let his portion be with the beasts in the grass of the earth.
Now have a look on top of the giant tree stump where the guy who is flying the drone is standing. Look at the pattern of the grain underneath where they're standing. Now look at the wood grain pattern on this railroad tie, which is basically the center of a log that has been cut on each side. It's identical to the top of this giant tree stump that these people are standing on. It can't get any more simpler than this right here.
The tree that thou sawest, which grew and was strong, whose height reached unto the heaven, and the sight thereof to all the earth, whose leaves were fair, and the fruit thereof much, and in it was meat for all, under which the beasts of the field dwelt, and upon whose branches the fowls of the heaven had their habitation. It is thou, O king, that art grown and become strong. For thy greatness is grown and reacheth unto heaven, and thy dominion to the end of the earth. And whereas the king saw a watcher and an holy one coming down from heaven, and saying, Hew the tree down and destroy it, yet leave the stump of the roots thereof in the earth, even with a band of iron and brass in the tender grass of the field, and let it be wet with the dew of heaven, and let his portion be with the beasts of the field, till 7 times pass over him. This is the interpretation, O king, and this is the decree of the Most High, which is come upon my lord the king, that they shall drive thee from men, and thy dwelling shall be with the beasts of the field.
If we zoom in from Google Earth, I'm going to show you right here. As you can see, there is a ancient giant tree stump that's been cut off. Did you guys get a good look at that? And sometimes you can find the remnants of the tree branches really close by the tree stump itself, as you can see right here. There you go. There's the petrified tree branches. What you think are hills and valleys are just giant petrified tree branches.
Upon his ruin shall all the fowls of the heaven remain, and all the beasts of the field shall be upon his branches, to the end that none of all the trees by the waters exalt themselves for their height, neither shoot up their top among the thick boughs, neither their trees stand up in their height, all that drink water. For they are all delivered unto death, to the nether parts of the earth, in the midst of the children of men, with them that go down to the pit.
This is incredible. I hope it shows up on camera as good as I see it. It's the same way the wood breaks down today. why it cuts off here and the moss starts, I couldn't tell you. Like I said, maybe we're meant to see it. This is truly incredible. This is what makes it all worth it, to be able to show the truth. That's how everything is. But it has the discoloration and the moss on it, okay? But you see, for example, this piece, this little piece, that little piece, these pieces, they're everywhere. They're everywhere. We're on the top right now, so they used to be a part of one of these. And the flood came along, took these, and brought them laid it right there, like that. And look how high up this is. How deep were the floodwaters to cover these trees, or the remnants? So they had to have laid on the ground for quite some time in weather to be able to do this. And then the floodwaters came. So I got to film part of this again, because sometimes you don't come across things as extraordinary as this, especially things that don't have the moss and stuff on them that hide the color. So I just want you to take a good look at this. Okay, this is a different spot, but look at this. To walk around down here, and you know, some people would never get to see this in a lifetime. You see all the pieces and parts everywhere. All the pieces and parts. Let's look at this.
The cedars in the garden of God could not hide him. The fir trees were not like his boughs, and the chestnut trees were not like his branches, nor any tree in the garden of God was like unto him in his beauty. I have made him fair by the multitude of his branches, so that all the trees of Eden that were in the garden of God envied. Therefore thus saith the Lord God, because thou hast lifted up thyself in height, and he hath shot up his top among the thick boughs, and his heart is lifted up in his height, I have therefore delivered him into the hand of the mighty one of the heathen. He shall surely deal with him. I have driven him out for his wickedness. And strangers, the terrible of the nations, have cut him off and have left him. Upon the mountains and in all the valleys his branches are fallen, and his boughs are broken by all the rivers of the land. And all the people of the earth are gone down from his shadow and have left him. Upon his ruin shall all the fowls of the heaven remain, and all the beasts of the field shall be upon his branches.
It's truly amazing. Wow. Now we're going to go down, and we're going to go down there and look at the face of this. Okay? So hold on. Okay, so let me show you this. This section right here, that's just the center core. And this thing was hundreds, if not thousands of feet in diameter before it all broke apart. Now let me show you here. Okay. You look right here. You're gonna see the rings as if you were looking at it down at a stump and seeing the rings. All this over here is gone. All this, who knows how thick it was, is gone. Just this small section remains. And you see the radius rings as if they would go around this like that. So much is gone, and these used to come all the way up and around. There used to be more on top that would go around. But that's a pretty...
Yeah, can you unmute me, Nadine?
You're good. You're good.
Okay. Right here, y'all see these rings right here? How they're going, just like we'll see the logs and stuff do. When we were traveling from Ohio to Pennsylvania, there was this freeway, and we went, and along that freeway is like a portion where a mound was, it looked like. So they cut into it like they normally do, just go right through it, chisel it out or whatever. But when we drove through it, I seen these rings on either side of the road like that, and it felt like we drove right through a damn petrified rock. And I said, and I took note. I was trying to remember so I can go back and try to find this location so I could look at it again. Because when you're driving at 70 miles an hour, you only have a few seconds to take it all in and look, because you can't stop and pull over and take pics on the freeway, right? So I seen this same ring in them along, I believe. But I just want to pause that for a minute. You can pause it, mute me again.
It's really nice to think about these guys that were doing this instead of ending up probably like most of us going into some kind of part of the matrix corporate, these guys that had this life, and then they also will have the new life, like that's really, two great lives. That's really special.
Pretty good example. That's the inner core. And that's just part of a branch that goes back. That piece right there is about 5 stories tall. And that is just one of them little pieces. All these little pieces you see are just part of the tree, the fibers. You come up here, you see there, it's just how the tree breaks down. And you come over here, all these little pieces with the flat edge and the ledges. And this is a small one. This would be one of them gaps you can walk through. It's a small one. Some of them, the pieces are so large. Like, we're gonna walk this whole hill right here, all the way down, cut across, and cut up on there. But that hill over there is like one of these pieces. It's not a whole tree, it's just pieces that are broken down. And then you'll see that over time, this piece will break off, and they keep breaking apart into pieces like fibers. Okay. So I actually found this stump right here just to give you a visual. But you got to remember, these are parts of the branches. So you see the rings, part of the radius here. All this was connected at one time. All this was massive. And then pieces broke off, and dispersed. So you see right here, okay? So this is a stump and the rings go this way. Not always, but most of the time. So if you were to put that piece up there, the rings here are going in a semicircle. Same as that. This would be like one little piece of the rings here going around. And then all the rest of it's gone. It's just what happens. This thing here is so massive. I told you it's like the fibers. That don't even look petrified right here. Looks like driftwood. Gee. Yeah, that does not even look petrified. Oh, how crazy is this? Hold on. Sorry about spinning around. Just trying to get a better angle for you. This is so massive. That's at least 60, 70 foot tall. And you come here, this is, you see under here, this is kind of like a knot right here. See that? And there's part of a ring laying right there. Let's go up there a little bit. You can see a lot of the characteristics of the wood because it doesn't get a lot of water. How crazy is that? So that whole section right here broke off. Like this piece is getting ready to break off. But this was a knot. A massive part of a massive knot. And this is just one tiny piece, section of a one ring. Holy moly. I'm showing you how like the fibers are. I'll put a picture in here of how wood is, the way it breaks down. Providing it's straight grain. If not, you get into all kinds of different things. Look at that tree ring. This is really incredible. You see here, these are like the fibers. You know, if you could see the vastness, the size of these, it is just beyond incredible. And then when you get exposed areas like this where you can actually see like the inside wood grain, it's pretty incredible. Look at this. And this is a massive piece, but it's small compared to the tree that it came from.
Thou shalt not have one lot only, but the mountain shall be thine, for it is of wood, and thou shalt cut it down.
Really quick, I'm going to show you this, how the trees are fibers, and for some reason this shows the true color. A big chunk of this just fell off. See part of the grain. This is the way the fibers are right here. See? Hold on a second. You see it's nothing but wood. Okay, so we're going to go down over here and I'll show you a little more. Okay, see here, and at an angle. Okay, all this, everything, this whole mountain in a 100-mile radius.
Thou shalt not have one lot only, but the mountain shall be thine, for it is a wood, and thou shalt cut it down.
You see, this looks just like freshly chopped wood. We peeled a piece off of there. This is what we see. This is the wood. See that? That's just got the moss on it. And all this here, all the way back up in here, I'll show you that in a second. You come right here and you see, we'll pull a piece off here. It's just wood. It's so crazy. All this. And then you go right over here. See? This is the fresh stuff. This is what we see. It's gonna blow your mind. You see this? That's incredible. Wood is like fibers. See here. All this. Everything I've shown in every one of my videos. The mountains. And it's not just here. It's worldwide. You see, this don't have the moss on it. Alright, we're gonna end it there. I just wanted to show you that. It's pretty incredible. Everything I showed you generally looks like this or like this. But once you break it apart, you see the wood.
The trees floated into an area, a low bed area, and rested there, and did not decompose right. Still soaked in water and taking in minerals. They turned to stone. Well, all the mountain ridges that you've seen in your life that you think are mountains, those aren't mountains at all. That's why they're in straight line ridges, because those are the trees that floated off and settled wherever they settled at, like the Rocky Mountains. It's not really the Rocky Mountains. It's just some of the big trees that settled there. That's why you have mountains in certain places, not all over. You know, not all over, straight all across the country, all the way. It's just in certain spots of countries. And that's where those trees settled at. And what you think are mountains, those are the giant trees that were cut down. And that's why they drifted off from the stumps that you see today. That's why you don't see the tree laying beside the stump, because they floated away and settled as the oceans receded.
How big were those trees, man? And how old? Like Glendia said, how old?
Right. So this proves the stories that people read about in some of the Bibles, right?
Don't you?
Yeah.
It's throughout all cultures they talk about. Right?
Yeah.
All cultures. Wow, that was amazing.
So this is shiprock right here. They thought they called this a bird that they flew in on and crash landed. Right, that's the native story. They flew in on this bird, got them to safety. And this slide looks like it has the feathers up the back coming up. See the
Yeah.
crash boom.
Maybe that's Noah's Ark.
This was probably right. You're looking for Noah's Ark, right? You're looking for
There's back-to-back humor on this show.
right. So they're all looking for like a boat with some paddles and shit. There's a big ass tree sitting in there staring them right in the face, big enough to float whatever was above water on it until the waters receded. But yeah, there was This was
So if they're all
to the
trees,
group.
there's really no mountains. They're just trees.
Right.
It's kind of like an Avatar where they all lived in the trees.
That's why they go in the mountains, because some of that wood soaked up some of that silver,
Yeah,
metals,
minerals.
minerals. Yeah, so they go in the trees to get, just like when you pick up petrified wood, right? They have rainbow wood. They got all kinds of different woods with different minerals in them. But yeah, this is shipwreck right here. But anyways, I just wanted to share that. It just makes you look at things a lot differently. Maybe you open your eyes. I mean, I know most of us have already seen this, but
So if the trees were that big, think about the air.
yeah, the air must have been.
Wouldn't all things have been? Maybe
Did,
that's why everyone's
did they have to?
giant.
Did they have to trim the trees to put the firmament on?
Maybe that was capped on us later. Think about that. And then we got smaller and shorter. Trees got smaller, and they got smaller. But like you were saying, um, when she was talking about the aquariums, right? They show you in your face the aquariums have like the castles in it,
Yeah, the aquariums with the castles and all that. Remember that?
and the trees. Like they're showing you just underwater. That was the one we had a castle in it. When the fish swim through it, and it's like a broken up, destroyed castle.
It's like the fish tank, or you got it like an iguana tank, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But anyways, so we had the flood, and we also showed the melted reality where the fire, there was some kind of heat
Yes.
where it looked like a power grid had fried, right? Like we showed in the one video where it showed the circuit board frying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Cut those down. They could have used lasers.
Was that that would have been like an EMP, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Everything.
So something must have happened with the grid that caused it to react the way it did, a solar flash or whatever.
That was a good video. Yeah. And all our buildings were like on a motherboard, right?
Right.
Keep it motherboard is. When something short circuit.
So that came from Flat Earth, Flat Out Truth. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We'll add it to the link here. Um,
Hey, did you go in the comments in that?
Comments in that video.
oh,
Yeah.
go to the comments.
Yeah.
Let's go check it out. It's a good idea. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm full of them.
Yeah, it's a tree, but who cut it and with what? That's a good question. Um, the cuts look like some kind of laser.
Yeah, probably some kind of laser trip. I mean, they had technology back then.
Right. It's like the future meets the past, or whatever, and they come in and like it was what was that? He was the guy that cut down the big tree, right? Wasn't there a character? Who was the guy? I knew the name earlier because it crossed my mind. You know the guy with the axe that walked around, Paul Bunyan.
Is it Paul Bunyan?
I don't know, but it
The
was
blue ox.
yeah, and it showed him going around cutting down the giant trees.
Yeah.
Yeah. There used to be a
Paul Bunyan.
Paul Bunyan, yeah. There used to be a countess of the logs in the oceans that become the America. They had to conduct tests to determine that was a tree. Brother Stevie Wonder could have seen that was a tree.
Right?
Um, these beautiful trees went so high to the top of the sky they grew by the giants, and that's why Jack had to climb the beanstalk.
Yes. Yeah.
And Rod said that they got so high that the temperature up is what naturally kept it from growing any further due to the believable temperatures or the air quality. I guess they did it. So
Probably why they live so much longer. Think about that.
right.
The air was probably pure. Maybe we didn't have a dome before. Who knows?
So a tree will only grow as big as the pot is. So it must have been same thing. These beautiful trees went as high as the sky. Um, they they were grew by the giants and had a stunning full underground energy system that ran from the tree's roots that lit up underneath. Beautiful, vibrant place full of advanced tech. Our friends, the giants. There's many human giant races, and we all got along and lived together in pure peace until they came and the colonizers of our world. Yes, our world, this earth, has always been our home. The evidence has been buried. The trees were cut down by them beings with the tech. It's like almost an alien invasion.
Right. They said the Watchers is what that.
Think about it.
The scripture is talking about the Watchers.
You got time travel capabilities, and some villain gets a hold of it and he travels back in time with the technology and does that so that it affects the future. So that when here we are looking at everything's cut down, they said we would be. They said we would be walking on our ancestors' bones, right? So wouldn't that be our ancestors' bones?
You know, like some of those structures, like the mountains, looks like a woman laying there. And maybe that was a giant woman.
So we're talking about resets, right?
Oh, yeah.
That was a reset, right? And the last reset was in 1728 after the war. We had the Great Tartarian Empire. Yes, them old buildings. You see, we're part of it all.
Contrary,
Yeah.
which they say is just a conspiracy. That there's two generated to say,
Well, this guy isn't a bot.
right.
Right. Their name is the Custodians. And when they were having a fallout with the Anunnaki and had the Greys watching over humanity, as they were as they only controlled us to a certain degree before we took that chance to fight and kick these beings off of our world, and we won. The giants are very barbarically strong, and we have rapid, infinite spiritual potential. We are truly special beings. Many beings would be long dead after all these pathogens and viruses. These beings have their evil ways to get out into the population, the same beings who spray the skyscraper with chemicals. Hmm. See what I mean? We're like, how do these people sleep at night? They don't.
Thumbs up, that guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
how do these
That guy
people
I
sleep at
like.
night? Yeah. Somebody said, Jesus, take the wheel. No, man. Didn't Jesus say at some point that the whole of the earth is a carcass? Seems I read that somewhere in one of the four gospels, maybe Luke. Either way, the Lord is absolutely right. Right. So you see, you gotta ask yourself, so what Lord was that that cut down them trees?
There's more than one.
What did the damn trees do to you?
Yeah,
Oh,
gods. I mean, if they've got nuclear in your own right, or there's something.
I guess the equivalent of knocking out the buffaloes to the natives of the land, right? And their food source.
Right, because
So the oxygen it provided, they didn't need.
everything. Right. Think about it. If they all lived like that, I was reading the scripture, but it says that all the animals and all everyone and man lived underneath the trees. It was probably nice, beautiful weather all the time, nice and cool. Look like those huge trees. It would never be hot.
Somebody said we would love to see all the stumps mapped out on a world map. Excellent presentation. Glory to be to God Almighty. And volcanoes are ancient tree stumps the giant farmers were trying to burn out. Where's the rest of the tree? No remnants. From the tops, they take resin, and from the resin, they made oil. Oil that rules the world for money. Entry point makes me angry. Right, because this even goes to the movie Avatar. Remember, they were in those trees and they connected with the trees
Yes.
spiritually.
Yeah. Destroyed.
As above, so below, somebody said. I think the lower you get, yeah, bro.
Imagine you got all these huge trees and you have the trees talking to you like, hey man, don't go over there. There's one of those poopy birds over there flying. And good one, good one.
Because sin entered the world from the very beginning, creation has been declining. Plants and living things have been getting smaller over the past 5,000 to 7,000 years. I speculate the first humans were about 150 meters tall, and the trees about 1,000 meters or more. But the size of Earth has not changed. My eyes filled with tears watching this. I know this is truth. Thank you for this confirmation. What a morning. God bless our beautiful, amazing world. The tree's own natural chemical process of decay and hardening is what causes the appearance of having been sawed. It's amazing. Is that the narrative from Genesis? I got to read all over again with the new awareness. That's what I was saying. Is your awareness increases, you can go back and reread, re-look at and re-examine things. There's always something there new waiting for you. But it's all about your awareness. Right? So, why is no consciousness? This is fascinating, interesting to know. Pro Genesis world. How do we get them back? Let's start planting the seeds.
Right.
I think as long as the roots are there, they can possibly grow.
Well, that's what I was trying to find out. Sleep
You know, that was all a story. That could be, I don't know, all a story maybe about tree. Like maybe they really do grow faster than what we know. You know, like once shit's cleaned up, they could actually grow faster and bigger.
So that's what it was. They decreased the oxygen levels or something, which decreased the size of the things that grow in it. Think about like when you're growing plants in indoors, right? And the humidity, the oxygen, temperature, sunlight, or that whatever light, and then you can control that. And then that's how you can control how big the plant gets or how small it stays, based on all those different. So, do you think it can be determined if the trees were cut down by with some laser? See that? Because otherwise, that would have been one hell of a huge chainsaw.
That was a
Yeah.
timeline jump there. The guy's going from laser to chainsaw.
right.
I
Cut
was
down with
timeline
yeah.
I was timeline jumping, watching a video in the studio, and then over here in Rumble, I didn't know what the heck was going on.
All right, so we were talking about, we were talking about some of the programs getting cut from the government shutdown with SNAP and stuff like that. I got a clip here of Trump saying some of these programs are not coming back. I don't know exactly what programs, whatever programs that they do not like are not coming back. I think it's just a little.
Sunrises ago are, but you have
Oh, here's the timeline why time is speeding up.
Does it pandemic?
Everybody was talking about that, how fast time is flying. Well, it's not just you, it's a lot of people worldwide that when asked that question, they don't realize that how fast time has flown. So that's what we're going to do that. I guess I should have. I'm trying. Where it is. Took me a second. But 3 minutes.
abundance.
3 minutes right here. This is going to go with.
Abundance, my people. For the people that I told y'all, I wasn't afraid because I want this to go down because it has to go down. I know that the system that was built off of the blood, murder, the genocide of so-called black women and children. So in order for this system to fall, it's going to fall the same exact way. Now, I want you to understand something. I thought at some point in time that they would at least sign something to give it a 90-day window, maybe 6 months. But after listening to this, it's clear that this is not coming back online. It is going forward, and there's nothing that they can do about it. Just listen to what Trump has to say.
They work. So the Democrats are getting killed, but they're not telling the people about that. I say nobody, well, I haven't said it probably as bluntly as I just said it, but so we are closing up Democrat programs that we think that we disagree with, and they're never going to open again. I say nobody, well, I haven't said it probably as bluntly as I just said it, but so we are closing up Democrat programs that we think that we disagree with, and they're never going to open again. I say nobody, well, I haven't said it probably as bluntly as I just said it, but so we are closing up Democrat programs that we think that we disagree with, and they're never going to open again. I say nobody, well, I haven't said it probably as bluntly as I just said it, but so we are closing up Democrat programs that we think that we disagree with, and they're never going to open again.
Never going to open again. Now, isn't that something? Just understand and understand what's taking place and read the bottom of that screen real quick. Walmart receives around 90 billion in subsidies from the U.S. government every year. 90 billion every year? Why do Walmart get 90 billion every year? Part of the military, that's why. Listen, I'm not here to fear mongering, because that's what people, it's fear mongering. It's fear mongering. In fear mongering, you should be in fear of being a fucking a mental slave. That's what you should be. You should be in fear of being under someone's psychological control. That is what you should be in fear of. Not the fact that you have to come up out of someone's clutches by any means necessary. You should welcome that challenge. I would rather meet the tip of your bullet, the tip of a sword, than to live 1 millimeter of a second under your slavery. You got to be kidding me. Abundance of gratitude to all. They're never going to open again. Get ready.
Free or
So the programs aren't going to open again. Some of those programs, right? Am I muted? Okay.
Oh, you're good.
Okay. Here we go. So does it really feel like the pandemic was 5 years ago?
It was 5 years ago.
No. Honestly, no.
I don't think it seems like it's been 5 years. I'm surprised you even said that.
It feels like it was yesterday.
No. No, really? It feels like 10.
Does it really feel like the passage of time has kind of changed since the pandemic?
Yes!
My life 1 month before the pandemic feels like it was like 6 months ago, but also a lifetime ago.
I remember still being in middle school when the pandemic happened, and now I'm in college. It's just really weird every time I think about it.
It feels like there's a gap between the world before and after the pandemic.
I feel like everyone's attention spans have gotten really messed up.
The way we spend our time is completely different. It's combined work and our general life.
You just got a different sense of just what life is and what to hold precious.
Well, feel like the days are flying by. Turns out some days, including today, actually aren't a full 24 hours.
So they are flying by,
Yes.
I guess. Scientists say the Earth is spinning faster this summer, making some days shorter.
Earth is whipping around quicker than it has in a half century. And yes, the Earth really is spinning on its axis faster than it ever has since we started using an atomic clock to time it back in the 60s. But who wants to lose time, right? Maybe in 2020 we did.
Maybe
we were okay with that.
Yeah.
But typically we want to slow time down.
We need a little bit more time, I think, sometimes, right? Okay, so up until 2020, the Earth's rotation had actually been slowing. And there were 27 times since 1972 where there were leap seconds added to the atomic clock to account for the Earth's slowing rotation.
But others see it as a history that was fulfilled by the ancient Romans, the Roman emperors, and the Roman persecutions. And the church, basically, they said it was a coded message to the church about what was going on under the Roman persecution and hardship, which was hard. They say basically it symbolically speaks to the church's struggle in the world up until the time of the end. And then there are those who see it as being literal and future and unprecedented, events that are yet to come. I happen to be in that category if you're unsure. You see, that seems to me to be the reasonable and the biblically sound approach, because when Jesus spoke to the 12 shortly before his arrest, he described what the future was going to look like. And he described what Revelation tells us about, a future that was in the future and that would be covered with a series of unprecedented events. In fact, it's interesting how Jesus stated it in Matthew 24:21. He said, "For then there will be great tribulation." The word tribulation means affliction, distress, oppression. But he says it's going to be of a magnitude that's going to stand out and above and beyond anything the world has ever seen. He says, such as has not been from the beginning of the world until now. No, and never will be again. So in other words, when it happens, it's going to be a one-off. You know, in fact, when God destroyed the earth with a flood, he said, I will never destroy the world with a flood again. Now, he didn't promise that he would never destroy the world. He had something in store. He used the water. Now he's going to use fire in the end. But the whole point is, we've never seen anything like the flood again, except on small regional levels. And that's the whole point. He said that when this event takes place, it's going to be so pronounced and so obvious, and it will be unprecedented. Nobody will be able to say, you know, that reminds me of what happened back in 49. No, people are going to be facing a world that's going through such cataclysmic changes when we're talking about billions of people dying upon the planet.
But now, scientists say that the Earth's spin is speeding up. Until 2020, the shortest length of a day ever recorded was by 1.05 milliseconds. But since then, Earth has managed to shatter this record every year by almost half a millisecond. Last year, July 5th was the shortest day of all time. It was shorter by 1.66 milliseconds. And now, this year the summer months are witnessing multiple short days.
In this episode, we uncover a shocking event that suggests Earth's third shortest day in a month could be a sign of an unfolding catastrophe. Earthlings has witnessed one of the shortest days, yet again, on August 5th. This is because the planet is rotating faster than ever. We have already witnessed two such days in the recent past, on July 9th and July 22nd.
Check. Isn't it funny? The ball is spinning faster.
Right?
Was the ball spinning faster, dude?
Well, I told you the fire already took place.
Is the ball?
The fire already took place. I don't think that. I don't know.
You don't feel
who
like it's
actually
sped
did
up?
that.
I know. Y'all heard he said atomic clock,
Atomic clock.
right? Deals with the time and the rotation of the Earth, and that's what the atomic logo was on Michael J. Fox's shirt.
What's the past?
Right.
Right.
They thought, like, remember those cartoons that showed where the cartoon would run in reverse and it would go back in time or reverse everything? Oh,
Yeah.
You know what? Seriously, if somebody had to be taken out back and have something really, really bad done to them, it would be whoever took money for making a study about 1.66 millisecond, because it's all full of shit. Plus, it's like doing a study like that, and it was probably like millions of dollars. It's somebody needs to be slapped like real hard about that.
imagine being the person having to watch the clock down to the 1.66 milliseconds.
Oh, you've got to be like some. That's right. You know what? That you
It
know
was
who
off just
did
a
that
hair.
job? You know who did that job? It was Cash freaking Patel. That's what happened. That's exactly what happened to his eyes.
Oh,
Another one.
What'd you say? Did you say vice grips?
Yeah, that kind of a face could happen from vice grips too.
Vice grips.
Mrs. Fun packed evening, folks.
We'll be under investigation by tomorrow now. Thanks. Crash, I had nothing to do with that joke.
If I had a hammer.
That's CNN science, man. Earth is spinning faster, leading timekeepers to consider an unprecedented move. What are they going to move? What are they going to move?
But they go up, right?
It's the Truman Show. I just really wanted to play it for the first couple minutes. I don't know why. The sheepdog said I should have turned it off a long time ago, but because of the spinning ball.
That's like me with
Like when we hit this level of like the presentation, I was like, oh no.
That's like with that Massey video you put on. I'm like, can we just get to the part where he electrocutes himself, please? That was such a guy video.
That was just us, right? That wasn't live, right?
Mickey, This is no place for wimps.
Oh crap!
Oh, there's that one. Nuts angels chop the tree.
Oh, you got something else on the tree? There's a nine word. It's from Jennifer. Also a piece.
Yeah.
There's Cheating's mom.
So beautiful variety.
Oh, Enoch did that?
Into other realms, those trees were chopped down. They were cut down for some reason. And it falls to us to try to reverse engineer history and figure out why. What had happened? Who cut it down? With what? Where did it go? What happened? It seems that there are some nuggets in the book of Enoch that talk about the giant trees having been cut down by the Titans of old. Let me read from the book of Enoch here. This is going to be chapter 66, and I'm going to start at verse 2. In those days, the word of God came to me, and I said, Noah, behold, your lot has ascended up to me, a lot void of crime, a lot beloved and upright. Now then, shall the angels labor at the trees? But when they proceed to do this, I will put my hand upon it and preserve it. That's the key one right there. The angels shall labor at the trees. How interesting. So it talks about the lofty trees all throughout these various texts. And then it goes on to say, the seed of life shall arise from it, and a change shall take place. And the dry land shall not be left empty. We're focusing on the angels will labor or work on, right? Do something to the trees. One translation says they shall labor at the trees, or it could be said are making a wooden structure. The angels are making a wooden structure. What are the angels doing? Now, angels, as I've talked about in some of my other videos, there's other words for that, okay? I believe this is a direct reference to the Titans of old. Let me cut to the chase. I'm talking about the no forest on flat earth theory, right? The theory that we once had a realm that was beautiful. It was a garden paradise. Everything was majestic and grand, including these gigantic silica pillars that we refer to as giant trees that once existed, that shot up past the clouds and went into the heavens, into another realm, and connected downwards into the realms below us as well. They were sort of portal into other worlds. And this is where we get stories like Jack and the Beanstalk, where he climbs up this pillar and he ends up in the land of the Titans or the giants, right? We see the evidence for these trees, or as I call them, the silica pillars, all around us. And they're in movies, they're in books, and they're all over the place if we just have the eyes to see them. Now, they have been cut down. Our world was terraformed. That paradise was destroyed. It was carved down. Now, was it carved down just because there was a bunch of angry titans just, slobbering all over the place like a caveman, and they just wanted to kill things and destroy things? I'm not sure. I know that's the picture that we're painted, right? But look at this. This is evidence. Society and the world at large would try to have you believe that this is just erosion. Wind and rain over time just carved out this perfect tree stump right there in the middle of nowhere, and it didn't have any effect on the surrounding areas whatsoever, okay? I don't believe it. I'm going to repeat that verse from the book of Enoch, just that one particular, chapter 66, verse 2. Now then shall the angels labor at the trees, but when they proceed to do this, I will put my hand upon it and preserve it. It's interesting to me that it says preserve it. It's talking about the trees, but then it says preserve it, as in singular, right? I wonder if there is still the world tree at the center of our Middle Earth up at the North Pole, what we call the North Pole. A lot of people speculate that that one has been chopped down as well, but I think that was the main one, and maybe the reason why it's so difficult for anybody to get to the North Pole is not because of extreme temperatures, but because you can only go to a certain distance from this world tree before you can start to see it due to perspective and line of sight and things of that nature, right? I mean, you would think that everyone would just be able to see it, but that's not the case when it comes to breaking down perspective, right? You can still have a world tree up there at the North Pole that still exists. I lean towards it still existing. I'm not sure, but that's a theory that I have. I'm going to read some more quotes from Enoch that I feel are very relevant. I was laying down in the house of my grandfather, Machalel, when I saw in a vision heaven purifying and snatched away. And when it says heaven, it's talking about the sky, right? Our dome of the heaven above us. And falling to the earth. So he saw the heaven falling to the earth. He saw the sky falling, right? The sky can't fall. Physical things fall down, right? So something physical up above us called the heavens, he saw in a vision falling down to the earth, just like Chicken Little, who says, the sky is falling, the sky is falling. We make fun of that, you know, but that hits home to me. That feels like there's some truth there, that the sky has the capability to fall. Something above us that we look at and we call the sky or the heavens or the expanse or space or whatever, has the ability to one day break apart and fall downwards. And falling to the earth, I saw likewise the earth absorbed by a great abyss, and mountains suspended over mountains. Hills were sinking upon hills, lofty trees were gliding off from their trunks, and were in the act of being projected and of sinking into the abyss. Lofty trees were gliding off of their trunks and were in the act of being projected and sinking into the abyss, sinking into what we call the ocean these days. This blows my mind. This amazes me. Perhaps this is one of the reasons why we don't explore the ocean. Those really deep parts of the ocean, we don't share those with people. I believe that there are all kinds of remnants of an ancient world down at the bottom of the ocean, because I believe that the ancient world was fossilized. It was turned into stone. So let me reread that. Hills, this is a vision that he saw. Hills were sinking upon hills, lofty trees, not regular trees, lofty trees, silica pillars. I'm paraphrasing. Were gliding off from their trunks and were in the act of being projected and sinking into the abyss. That amazes me. So let me read this as well. This is from chapter 16, verse 1. It says, "And as to the death of the giants, wheresoever their spirits depart from their bodies, let their flesh, that which is perishable, be without judgment. Thus shall they perish until the day of the great consummation of the great world. A destruction shall take place of the watchers and the impious. Let their flesh be without judgment." Now, the alternative rendering of that is also here. Instead of "let their flesh be without judgment," it says, "or their flesh shall be destroyed before the judgment." So what this is saying to me, let their flesh, which is perishable, be without judgment. So the judgment of the flesh is for it to rot away. The judgment of the flesh is to decay and to go away, to disappear, to return to the earth and to, rot, basically. But let it be without judgment, meaning don't let their flesh decay and rot. Now this ties right into mud fossil theory, because the flesh literally turned into stone. So their bodies were to be kept intact, whole, for the most part, until this quote-unquote day of judgment when their bodies would pass away. So I want to say thank you to everybody for making so many of the things that I do possible. I never thought it would be possible, you know, to do what I do and to present these things, and people would actually care and listen and be intrigued and inspired to go on their own and to look at the world differently and to share information as well. So thank you, all of you.
Jay Dreamin'.
Go check out the channel. Am I muted?
No, you're good. Will you put that in the chat? Because that guy, he's so much like how that my Twitter friends used to be. Like, you know, people that just dream and think and talk and aren't afraid to share like what they're like any kind of wild ideas, you know, that kind of guy. It's
I
cool.
posted it on the chat. I've watched him before. He does really good. He also does one on like a plasma event. He does all sorts of topics like that, but it's pretty interesting.
Here's the glass ceiling that Hillary Clinton keeps trying to break.
Right.
Right? You see that right here? Remember she said that in her campaign speeches?
Yeah.
Yeah, I shared that. I remember the Ewoks. I used to play with those as a kid. What, in the little trees?
Yeah.
With the little things? Yeah, the
Yeah,
big
they
trees.
put everything in our faces. Everything.
Is it Ewoks?
Is that just in
Yeah, they're Ewoks.
Texas?
Yeah, it's from Star Wars, right?
Oh, the Ewok. Oh, those
Yeah.
guys. Oh, I thought you said little Enochs.
Oh. The little Ewoks.
See the trees?
See,
They
they
live in
have
the
little
trees.
houses.
You had to make a disclaimer on YouTube, or is this is for educational purposes only? We do not own the copyrights to the material being presented for educational purposes only.
We are brave, we are bold, like a storyteller told. And we're strong and we will fight, and we'll stand up for our rights. We're the when the spirits of the forest moon. We are the forest moon.
Enochs or Ewoks?
Right.
You know how the languages. Right. Then that goes all the way back to Star Wars. Turn to Ewok.
There comes a time in every man's life when you
Turning the Ewoks.
They live in the trees. Alright, anyways. Let's share that channel, which is Daydreamers Z.
Yeah, I posted it in the chat also.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So that video right there has got 104,000 subscribers. He got 570,000 views on that, and that was done about 7 years ago. We didn't watch it, but it's funny that he mentioned a lot of things that we talked about earlier.
Well, I was actually trying to find the verse, and about the trees and the roots are still there, but and that popped up. So I had watched some of this stuff before. So, yeah, that was pretty interesting. I've just talked about it too. That's crazy.
So the comments, one possible reason for chopping them down would be if you plan to kill off the Titans with a flood. Trees reaching miles into the sky would be a refuge. Right?
Maybe some of them did, like in Jack and the Beanstalk.
Somebody said, "Wow, I think you nailed it." That makes sense. That's what I thought too. How about that the today's water flow above the surface of Earth because big trees used to suck it dry. We're living on an imbalanced plane, which affects our and all living consciousness. We were a giants when big trees provided a lot more oxygen. That's what we were saying. There's also interesting ideas about human growth that Bell's described in his books, but I won't uh, be spoiling that. So I guess you have to go check out the book. The first time I saw the Devil's Tower in person, I thought it looked like a tree stump.
Yep.
When I drive through Nevada, I see clearly that mesas are the stumps of ancient trees, and the roads I am driving are paved along the bottom of ancient ponds that used to lap at the base of those trees. The ancient world must have been so beautiful. It makes me very sad, but still I am amazed at the beauty of the shown world. Life finds a way.
So it does.
You know, it goes with like you wouldn't be going hungry if you had all those trees. I mean, you're not going to be having all your, fast food kind of nuts. Um, you just don't have to worry about going hungry. You're exploring. You're like, just running around. There's clean water. It'll be really good. Hopefully it comes back when we're here.
It's all scripted.
So sounds like Lord of the Rings, especially the part when the orcs were cutting down the trees. I think Tolkien was on to something.
Yeah, they were showing everything like this.
So crazy how I saw the videos of some of these things a year ago and I thought people were crazy. And then I read my Bible more and again and then studied in other places like the Book of Enoch and into many, many subjects. And it all pieces together now that they weren't crazy. I just lived in a box, ignorant of the devil's plans, and I called it the Devil's Tower,
Right, yeah, right.
right? He's the one that's what the veil. That's the veil that's put over people's eyes. That's what devil is the veil.
It's also
The veil. Right. So but they call something that evil good and good evil. Like calling that tree stuff the Devil's Tower.
right.
And then you say that a bear's clawed the side of it. So crazy how I saw the things. But they should make a movie out of the Book of Enoch, like they do every other biblical story.
Right.
You notice they haven't done that?
Would have too many questions. Question a lot of things.
Thank you for sharing our truth. I wish everyone could see. But Jesus said they will hear but not understand. They will see but not recognize.
It's really nice when people can have like this soft wake up like this. Like everybody's like, oh yeah, now I can understand it. Like that's good. And then there are certain things that you're like, why you feel like you got slapped upside the head. You're like crying and it's all crazy. Thankfully there's just a few of those things. And then there's these other things. It's like, wow, I was really a dumbass.
Well, we just couldn't see it. That's it's awesome. We came in.
So the trees being portals goes hand in hand with what you see in Sedona and on so many other parks. There's vortexes galore. Right? Can't hardly wait to see the new Earth. My brother's third grade reader had a story legend about giant beings being turned into stone. Yeah. Devil's Mountain in Wyoming. Imagine that. Why is it Devil's Mountain?
Everything's
Devil's Tower, Devil's Mountain, Devil's Canyon, Devil's Hill.
Put his mark on everything.
So the Vale Mountain in Wyoming might be one of those. They didn't film Close Encounters of the Third Kind there, but just for the heck of it. Great video, makes perfect sense. Okay. The Titans died after cutting the celestial divine trees because the trees were filling the air with a divine ether, which sustained all Titans and other mythical animals. This was their punishment, and this is how they all got petrified. Feels like they were misled by some group of people, or maybe something else.
Tracy said that she went inside Devil's Towers and found, someone went inside Devil's Towers and found chambers and stairs and hallways inside. Good.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that some of these, Bud, back off, some of these things be here, but we just can't see them right now?
Like in the never-ending story. Rock was just a rock in the story talking with them.
Yeah, I never watched any of the little kid movies because I don't have kids, so I just figured they were little kid movies.
So Katie says, I always wonder why the Book of Enoch basically starts about talking about the 14 different types of trees. Is it a clue for us to follow? There is something in the trees that we need to consider in the end times. Yeah, as long as the roots are still there, they can grow.
Yes.
And that's within us as well. Sometimes we got to cut it down.
That's right.
Sometimes we got to be cut down
Right.
so you can grow. One can see enough from the height of these trees to make maps of the areas and maybe even see Rufus nigra. Cutting these trees was not only hard labor, it also gave labor to the present mental situation that the world was launched into, a world with people lacking knowledge. Not knowing where one is standing makes it difficult to know where one's going. Right? So that's why it's important why we show this stuff. It's not just to say, here, look at trees and petrified wood, but it's to understand where you're at so you know where you're going. Right? Because they removed God, the creator, from this whole equation, right? They hid him in plain sight. All those biblical stories are right in our faces. We just, the flood, the fire, et cetera, et cetera. Lightning could have cut them down in some areas. Others, the cut looks so perfect like it was done with the machine. Right. It's so much more logical to think that giant humanoids have made many ancient artifacts that we just explain away. Like giants could have easily created the pyramids. Doesn't that make more sense that log rolling tons of carved stone over 300 miles?
Oh yeah, that would be like nothing to them. I mean, how they were. Darn tall.
So not only the trees, but after visiting the Grand Canyon, I truly believe that that was a quarry for the giants. All right, think about it. That would be crazy to be sitting at the top of one of those and looking at the giant's top of his head comes walking past. Oh shit!
That's why they lived in their dreams.
They probably started eating other people too.
I mean, that's what the indigenous tell stories about them eating their people, the giants.
That's crazy because when I flew from Wisconsin to Springfield, Missouri, I saw some of those footprints on the ground. They were filled with water. So there you go. When you fly over Wisconsin to Springfield, Missouri, look down. Blood Fossils University is buried in sight. There we go. Blood Fossils University. Satan's agenda is to keep the truth, knowledge that these trees held from us, and this is why many are so lost today. What they tell you to don't forget about from where you came. You got to remember, and that's what this is all about. Right? Enoch should be in the Bible. Jesus quotes him. I told Roger on Mudflood that you gave him props. He recommended your channel. There you go. Daniel 4 speaks of the dream of the king when he watched the angels put some sort of belt or band around the tree to cut them down and to leave the stump bare. So everybody has something to add to it. Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, that is.
I often pass through the petrified forest. When you look at the horizon, all you see is giant tree stumps. They're so easy to see when you're aware. Man, I wish I could have seen them. Should have been. And that's what we got for tonight. We thank you for taking flight with us tonight and um, also honoring Cheating's mother as well. We have a picture of her right here. Those beautiful eyes. Like he said his mom was beautiful. He wasn't lying. So we want to send his mom off and during her transition to fly high with the angels. Her birthday was 9/9/44.
Fly high, Miss Sassy.
Sorry about that glitch. We're going to provide the links for tonight's show in the description below, as well as our links for our sponsors, sheepdogspets.com. Please also check out our other links for Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, whatever. Anything, any little thing helps. We understand how that everybody's going through something. You do not have to donate. That is not a requirement. We're going to keep doing what we're doing, and we're going to let the chips fall where they may. And we want to thank everybody's support through the sheepdogspets.com this month. We really, really appreciate it. It helps us out a lot. Also, in the Sheepdog Swap, we thank you for the purchases there from each other throughout this process. Also, don't forget, we got Thanksgiving coming up. We may or may not have people within our community that may have some benefits cut. We don't know. So we're getting ahead of it just in case we have that happen. But if you're on Social Security, food stamps, something like that, and you're not going to have something for Thanksgiving, please reach out to us at the emails. Let me see if I got them on a banner. If not, we will share those. Here they are at the bottom of the banner. Right there for the food packages. We're going to do it through Bates Turkey. You check them out at batesturkey.com. They helped us out before with what 27 families they said. So family owned and operated farm for 100 plus years.
Yes.
Over 100 years now. So there's that. They'll also share the link for Dayna Mooney and Preston as well, if you can. And that's all we got. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thanks a lot, Eddie.
We'll see y'all first thing in the morning in the AM show that we have.
Coffee
Please
with
join
Joe.
us. What's it called?
Don't. You know what it's called. You just want me to say it. Coffee with the dogs.
So I got the Telegram QR code at the top left of the screen. You can pause and get that. We're going to go ahead and close out here. I want to thank everybody for joining us. Thank you, Nadine. Thank you, Mickey.
Have a fun night, everybody.
For all the help in the chats. Thank you to all our viewers. We appreciate you so much. We love you.
It's my pleasure. Good night, all.
And we will.
They flash their plastic, I flash my shine. Silver in my pocket, freedom on my mind. No barcode life, no digital change. Just weight in my hand and truth in my name. No tax, no trap, no credit cap. I trade in grams, not apps or cash. Land paid in metal, not in debt. Silver's the code they don't forget. Bounce that coin, feel that light. No more numbers, no more fights. Stack that silver, let freedom sing, let freedom sing. Real money makes the whole world swing. I walk in boots, not suit and tie. My ledger's clean, my spirit's high. They sell illusions, I sell truth. Silver's the anthem of the uncouth. They build their world on paper lies, but silver cuts through every